Lockhart. I got Nicole Gangley as well. Good afternoon to you. All right, this is the city of Detroit. Let me see if there's an offer in here first. I don't see an offer. It has a note here on one of these tickets. Did you send a note to the court, Mr. Lockhart?
Yes, I did.
All right, what's did not accept your offer to contract and do not agree to these proceedings. All right, so what do you want to do?
I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. I'd like to say for the record, my name is Jamil of the family Lockhart.
Let's get the record established. This is the city of Detroit versus Jamel Amir Lockhart, case number SP 121-80611, SP 121-8072, counts 1 and counts 2. And this one's in warrant status. This is SX 378-29611. Appearance for the record, please, Counselor.
Rita White, House Counsel, on behalf of Mr. Jamil Lockhart.
All right, Mr. Lockhart.
No, no one is representing me on my behalf. I don't know that.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Lockhart.
Yeah, so I am Jamil of the family Lockhart, flesh and blood, living man, and attorney in fact for Jamil Lockhart and Legis Trust. I'm here by threat, duress, and coercion. I'm here making a special appearance, and I'm here to demand that the court prove jurisdiction over me as a live flesh and blood man. And I have submitted a challenge of jurisdiction, which needs to be addressed, and jurisdiction must be proven and proven on the record. I have also submitted a request for your anti-bribery statement, your foreign registration statement.
Hold on, stop. I'm getting some feedback. I think it's coming from their device. If everybody can mute themselves, hold on a second. I'm gonna mute everybody. All right, I'll see if that works. Go ahead now.
Yeah, so as I said, I submitted a challenge of jurisdiction. Jurisdiction must be proven and proven on the record. And then also I submitted Freedom of Information Act request for your foreign registration statement and anti-bribery statement, as well as that of prosecutor. There is no contract. Every presentment that was made to me was formally rejected and sent back to the court, which is what you have a copy of, by my notary. I do have a live witness notary who can come in and testify to that fact. Given that there is no commercial contract, no commercial agreement, I fail to see how the court has jurisdiction. Furthermore, there's been no injured party, and no, there's been failure to state a claim through a verified affidavit. So if someone can prove to me how this statutory commercial court has some kind of jurisdiction over me as a live flesh and blood human being, I think we could start there.
Well, let's start here. You have a notice is not what you think notice should be. Notice is what is if it's properly effectuated in the court rule. And I'll certainly give you whatever hearing that you want if you file the proper motions and material to contest that. I'll give you an opportunity to be heard on that. But furthermore, what I'm looking at is I have a proof of service.
There is no proof of service that was rejected and sent back to the court. You have a copy of that.
You're not even listening. You're not even gonna listen. I listen to what you said. Are you gonna listen to me?
I am listening to you. I'm just responding to you.
All right. So why don't you listen before you start making statements?
Oh, you had paused. I
What
thought you were
it is
finished.
and what it isn't.
Well, go ahead.
Are you giving me permission to go ahead now too, right? All right.
I assumed you were done speaking.
All right. Listen, I have an envelope with certified mail. I don't know what, I believe the contents have been stapled to the envelope. It's got a proof of service effectuated by Nyla Perrin, did place into the U.S. mail, post office located at 60 East Milwaukee Street, Detroit, Michigan 48202. All of the enclosed documents received from Jamal Lockhart on this Tuesday, 19th day of November 2019, and purportedly signed by Nyla Perrin. All right. That's what I have a proof of service. I have another proof of service effectuated by the same person, put in the mailbox at located at 14,200 East 8 Mile Road in Oak Park, Michigan. All the enclosed documents received from Jamal Lockhart on Monday, the 18th day of November 2019. And what's in these documents, it appears to be a court it appears to be part of register of action. I have a signed complaint here, signed by Officer Randy Randolph on 11/19/2019.
Is he here today?
Well, we can get him in here. Today is only date and time is set for a arraignment. So you're just being arraigned, and what the arraignment purposes of the arraignment, and let's go through the whole thing, is you're here for a expired plate ticket that was allegedly had on 7/3/2021 at around 4:28 p.m. in the city of Detroit.
Can I ask you a question?
Jefferson and St. Albans. That is a civil infraction that carries a $145 fine. You're here for on the same date and time, there's an allegation that you did not have a drove while license not valid or improper. That is a misdemeanor offense, punishable by 93 days at the maximum by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. On the same date and time, there was an allegation that you did not provide proper insurance. That is a misdemeanor as it's written here, and that is punishable by the maximum possible penalty of 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. There's also a warrant for your arrest for an allegation of an improper, not valid driver's license. That the allegation was made on August the 25th, 2020 at around 3:27 p.m. in the city of Detroit in the area of southbound Lodge Freeway and Warren. So today is the date and time set for arraignment. You have the option of pleading guilty, not guilty, or standing mute. If you stand mute, I'll enter a not guilty plea on your behalf. What would you like to do, sir?
I am here under threat, duress, and coercion to demand.
You're not here under threat, duress, or
prove some kind of jurisdiction. And until jurisdiction has been proven, we can go no further. I would also like to ask you, is this proceeding taking place under common law?
this proceeding is taking place in accordance to the court rules and the statutory laws of the state of Michigan.
So I am not a creature of statute. I am not under statutory law. I would demand that this proceeding take place under common law, as I am a live flesh and blood human being, under no authority but that of God.
All right, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm going to give you another court date. I don't have any
All I need you to do is prove jurisdiction.
You don't tell me what you need me to do, sir. Don't do that. Just let me finish.
With all due respect, the court must prove jurisdiction.
I understand that. We can get this over with quicker rather than later if you let me do my job. What I was trying to say, you're making your claim and stating your case that the court doesn't have jurisdiction over you. In order for me to properly review that and go, it's got to be done according to the court rules. I need a motion, and I will read it. I will read that motion.
I have submitted a motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
I don't have it. I don't have it in front of me. And then I'll give you a motion.
I have a timestamped copy of it if you'd like me to show you.
All right, you got to submit it to the court. Look at the.
It was filed by the clerk just 2 days ago.
Okay,
I have a timestamped copy of it.
It hasn't got to the file. I'm going to give you another pretrial date of March the 25th, 2022.
I would like to say I do not consent. The court has to prove jurisdiction. I filed that document a few days ago. Anything short of that is an admission that there is no jurisdiction and we have no further business. We have no contract.
Have a great day, sir. March 25th, 2022. That's up to you.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day.
What was the time, Your Honor?
March 25th, 2022 at 8:30 a.m.
Thank you.
All right. All right. Mr. Lockhart. Mr. Jamal Lockhart. All right, I'm gonna put him out. Oh, there he is.
Yes, Jamil of the family Lockhart here.
Okay, you're still, did you have a question, sir?
None other than just stating that I do not consent to these proceedings and I do not accept any contract.
You already put that on the record.
Okay, good.
You came back in.
I would also like to ask why this Mrs. Rita White had claimed to represent me.
All right, let's go back on the record with Mr. Jamil Lockhart. Do you have the case numbers, Madam Court Reporter?
I do, Your Honor.
I just sent Mr. Lewis he sent me a chat. He was having trouble logging in. He's logged in, but he needs to connect his audio. So I sent him a message. So we'll see if that gets to him. But in the meantime, we're on the record with Mr. Lockhart. And how old are you, sir?
I am 27.
You're 27 years old, and you go ahead and you ask why Miss White is here to represent you. Well, first and foremost,
why did she claim to represent me? And I have no knowledge.
I'll explain to you. First and foremost, she's the House Counsel for this evening. So for this afternoon, she represents anybody who wants her representation as far as helping them to navigate and to defend themselves.
I have never expressed that want to her.
All right, you listen. Why do you talk over people?
Well, I assume we were having a conversation. I'm sorry. I'll be quiet.
I am trying to have a conversation, but one's got to talk and one's got to listen.
Okay, go ahead.
You asked why Miss White said she represented you. Miss White said she represented you because she didn't know beforehand the position that you were going to take. So she's just merely doing her job.
That is quite an assumption. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, by the name that you put up on there, Jamil of the family Lockhart,
That is
I
my,
wasn't surprised I wasn't surprised the avenue that you were gonna take on that. Just
I'm
by the
glad you
name,
recognize
but I
where I'm
can't,
going.
but she's not gonna assume, I don't believe she's gonna assume that she's gonna treat you any differently than anyone else. And then you said that you didn't want her representation, and she
Wouldn't
did
you
not.
agree that for future reference, it might be better to ascertain that kind of information before she makes that kind of statement to everybody?
No,
You don't think so?
no.
So the assumption is that everyone wants her to speak on their behalf.
Yes, until.
Is that not a
until they
rash
say-
assumption?
Until they say differently, like you did.
Okay. Well, again, this whole time, there's a motion before the court to dismiss for lack of subject matter
Well,
jurisdiction.
there's not a motion.
There's
before the
been-
court.
What has been filed, I have a timestamp copy of it. I can show you that if you need to see it. But
Okay,
your
well,
clerk
let me explain
timestamp
to,
filed that document.
let me explain to you. And this is just for your information. You say that you filed it with the court and the clerk down at the window, and I wouldn't disagree with that. But typically you want to, when you do your filings, that's why you want to have a judge's copy, and you want to specifically have that copy hand delivered to the judge's chambers. So we don't rely on the court clerks downstairs at the windows to make sure that these files get put into the proper place. You're not gonna make that.
Who do you rely on
Wait a
for
minute.
that?
You're making, and then because you don't want to make that assumption that that file is going to get into the correct file. You don't want to make that assumption. Would you agree?
Who do you rely on to make sure that filed documents get into the right place, get into
The person that's filing it, yourself.
So it is not, you're telling me it's not the duty of the clerk to ensure that documents are filed in the case where the judge can view those documents?
I'm just telling you that you want to make sure that the judge gets a copy, and who better to make sure of that is the person who's doing the filing, or the person is who's doing the filing.
So what on my capacity, that document was sent to the court. It was sent to the court by a notary. So I do have a live witness to attest to that fact. It has also been time-stamped. That was recorded as well. I have checked all my boxes when it comes to notifying the court. I've also given you a demand for your Freedom of Information Act request for your foreign registration statement and your anti-bribery statement. The idea or the fact that you do not have that is an issue. And it would mean that you are committing a crime against me and holding this statutory proceeding and trying to confuse me as a live flesh and blood man, that I am a corporation beholden to the corporation which you represent. And that is my main point here today, is to tell you that I am not under your jurisdiction. I am a live flesh and blood man. You've already stated that this is not a common law proceeding. I am under no law but common law. We have no commercial contract which would enter us into any kind of statutory law.
Okay.
So
Sir,
I failed to see
stop.
the
Let me
issue.
stop you.
And there's also
let me
no
stop you,
verified complaint with a
Let me
signed
stop you, sir.
affidavit.
Sir, let me stop you. And I'll let you put that on the record. I'll let you put it on the record already. We've already done those things. So I'm gonna end it.
What you're
I'm gonna
committing
end
here
it.
is a fraud against the people.
Okay,
That's
I'm
what
gonna
you're
end it.
participating in.
okay. Whatever your
And
position is.
without your foreign registration statement, that's an admission that you are here as a criminal actor.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna end the hearing now.
And I do not consent to
And I'm
any
gonna
further
remove you.
hearings on this issue or this matter. We have no valid contract. We failed to prove jurisdiction. There is no valid claim.
All right, you've
I do
already
not
said
consent.
that, sir. I've already let you make a record, and I don't want you to mention any more, because I'm gonna hold you in contempt of court, okay? So I'll let you make your record.
You
I said a
can
date
do
of
whatever
March
you feel
20th.
like you need to do. I'm
I
here to
said a
tell
date
you
of
that
March
I am not under
25th,
your
sir.
jurisdiction.
All right, have a great day.
It's a fraud on the.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we're live streaming right now, but
Mr. Lockhart,
Mhm.
you have a video, sir?
Yes, hello.
You have a video, Mr. Lockhart?
I'm trying to. Oh, okay, here we go. All right. Hang on. Okay. Yes.
You've been here before, correct?
Yeah, I've been here before.
And you filed some kind of motion. Have you filed any?
What's that?
Have you made any kind of filings on your behalf?
Yeah, quite a few.
Sweet, we don't get all that.
Please put your phones on mute. We gotta mute everybody except the person that except Mr. Lockhart. This is the city of Detroit versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case number SP1218061, SP1218072, counts 1 and 2, SP12478, strike that, SP1247989, count 1, 2, and 3, and SX378296111. Appearance for the record, please. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah, so I am Jamil of the family Lockhart. The motions that I filed and the documents that I have filed have all been trying to ascertain the jurisdiction of this court. And I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. And I'm trying to understand under what jurisdiction the court intends to proceed. First of all, is this going to be a civil or a criminal action? Criminal. Okay.
Misdemeanors punishable by 93 days in jail, up to maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail, and $500 in fine for each of the misdemeanor counts.
Okay, so Your Honor, the Constitution grants this court.
Hold on. Listen, Mr. Sanchez, you have to be quiet, sir. Go ahead, sir.
Okay, Your Honor, the Constitution grants this court 2 criminal jurisdictions. One is criminal jurisdiction under the common law, and one is a criminal jurisdiction under admiralty or military tribunal. From Article 1, Section 8, Clause 17 of the Constitution. So in which of these 2 criminal jurisdictions does the court intend to try me?
Sir, this is something, where is your motion, sir?
There's a motion filed there. It's a motion to dismiss based on lack of subject matter jurisdiction.
All right, I'm going to deny that motion. I'm going to set a bench trial or jury trial if you choose. Which one would you want to have?
Okay, Your Honor, under what grounds, what facts and findings and conclusions of law are you denying that motion to dismiss? I'm trying to understand the jurisdiction of the court. You have not disclosed it to me. I'm asking you.
That's not my job to disclose it to you. Check the court rules, sir.
Well, Your Honor, the Sixth Amendment grants me the right to understand the nature and cause of any action brought against me, and it grants you the duty to inform me. So I don't think you would be breaching your oath of office if you were to inform me under which jurisdiction this court intends to proceed. In order for me to intelligently defend myself without an attorney, I need to understand which jurisdiction the court intends to proceed to conduct
You have a very good attorney on the line, Mr. Elwood Terry. If you want to speak to him in a breakout room, I can give you that opportunity. Other than that, I'm going to set a bench trial or a jury trial in the matter.
Okay. Please let the record show that I have attempted to understand or to ask what is the jurisdiction of the court is operating under. And it appears that the court is operating under a secret jurisdiction, maybe only known to bar members and licensed attorneys. So let the record show that I am trying to understand jurisdiction and nature of cause against me, and the court has denied me that information.
I'm not denying you the information. The information is public information, sir. The information is outlined in the Michigan court rules. You need to read the Michigan court rules, and you can find out jurisdiction. It'll tell you everything about jurisdiction. That's entirely public information. You can go online and type in the court rules. The whole book is ascertainable to you online.
Sir, the Sixth Amendment grants
I'm not
you
required
to inform me of the nature and cause of any action brought against me. And right now, you are denying that right.
I'm going to tell you, sir, don't speak over me. You want me to inform you of the nature and cause of the action. You're charged with drive while license not valid or improper on 7/3/2021 around 4:29 p.m. in the area of Jefferson and St. Albans in the city of Detroit. That's punishable by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. The other charges, no insurance misdemeanor. On the same date and time, you were operating, the allegation says you were operating a vehicle in that area, of which is a 2011 Jaguar in the city of Detroit, and could not provide or did not have the necessary insurance required on that motor vehicle. That punishable by 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. On 9/11/2021 at 2:57 p.m. or thereabouts in the area of Jefferson and Riopelle, you are not. The allegation is that you were driving the same 2011 Jaguar in the city of Detroit without the proper registration on that vehicle. That punishable by 93 days in jail and or $500.
Sir, I understand the
maximum possible. Don't interrupt me, sir.
Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
On the same date, 9/11/2021, around 2:57, same date and time, it is alleged that you were driving in that area in the city of Detroit, in Jefferson and Riopelle. You're driving of that 2011 Jaguar without a valid driver's license. You drove while license not valid or improper. That's the allegation, and that is punishable by 93 days in jail. The maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. And on the same date and time, it is alleged that you were asked to provide proof of insurance on that vehicle, for which the allegation is that you did not provide that insurance, sir. And that penalty for driving an vehicle without the proper insurance is punished by maximum penalty of 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. And lastly, it is alleged that on August 25th, 2020, at around 3:27 p.m. in the city of Detroit, in the area of the Lodge Freeway and Warren, sir, you were driving, again, a 2011 Jaguar. These are the allegations. And you were pulled over in the city of Detroit, and you were asked to produce a valid driver's license, for which you could, the allegation is that you could not do so. That the maximum possible penalty for that offense is 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. Those are the charges. Do you want a bench trial or a jury trial?
Your Honor, I am trying to understand the jurisdiction of this court.
And I told
As
you, if you get
I
the
said,
jurisdiction-
you told me it was a
if you
criminal
read the
jurisdiction.
If you read the Michigan court rules, the Michigan court rules will tell you and give you jurisdiction. So they have a copy of the Michigan court rules online or at the public library. I'm sure it is not as easily ascertainable, and we're not going to keep going down this road, young man. Do you want a bench trial?
So I cannot. I'm asking you a very specific question, and it is this a criminal jurisdiction under common law, or is it a criminal jurisdiction under military tribunal?
Listen, it's let's move on to the next person.
Sir, please answer that.
You'll
It can only
leave
be
me
one or the other.
choice. You'll leave me no choice but to hold you in contempt. I'm asking you a specific question. You're
Your Honor, I do not wish to be held in contempt. I am trying to exercise my Sixth Amendment right. I can show you Constitution is exercise of a constitutional right cannot be converted into a crime, sir.
Sir, the way you speak to the court is via motion, okay? If you have a motion that I've already denied one of your motions, if you have another motion presented
under
to
what
the
basis, under
I'll
what
give you the
grounds have you
opportunity.
denied my motion? Sir?
it's not my job to explain to you all of the court rules, sir.
So there's
You're
only
gonna
two
represent
jurisdictions
yourself.
which this court
You're
can
gonna be
operate
treated
under.
just like any other, you're gonna be treated just like any other lawyer that comes in this courtroom. Okay? So you have to know the rules.
Yeah, so I'm not trying to seek legal advice or ask you what the rules are. I'm asking you a very specific question. There can only be two jurisdictions under criminal law. And is it under common law or is it admiralty law?
I'm not
And
here.
is there and where is the
Let's move on.
party
Let's
in
move
this
on.
action in this case?
All right. Let's get the other people that are here for review out of here. All right, let's go back on the record for Mr. Jamil Lockhart.
Yes.
All right. So this is the last time I'm going to say this. I'm not going to continue to go back and forth with you regarding court rules and all that. If you want to represent yourself, you're going to be required and you're going to be held to the same standards as anybody else, lawyer or otherwise, non-lawyer that comes into court. So with that being said, sir, I'm going to offer you either a trial for this matter. And you have the absolute, let's just set a jury trial. So we don't even have to ask him whether he wants a trial or a jury trial. We'll set him up a trial date. And all of those positions that you have, if you put it in a motion, we'll set a motion hearing date. She needs an on.
I have a future on
Sir, so if you are setting a motion hearing date, you are doing so without my understanding of the nature and cause of the action against me.
Listen,
And
I
I cannot move forward until I have these questions answered. These are basic questions that you are obligated under the Sixth Amendment.
I'm not obligated to answer any of that stuff. I told you, I gave you the answer to that stuff by looking in the court rules. You're obligated to know the rules.
Sir, what you mentioned is statutory law. And if we are proceeding under some kind of statutory law, I motion that we dismiss for lack of a sworn complaint or anything signed by injured party. And in fact, where is the injured party? Is the officer present, and who is the injured party in this case?
The officer is not required to be present today. It is a It is a pretrial date. I'll hold that, dismissal motion in abeyance until the date of trial. If the date of trial, if there's no signed complaint on the date of trial, then we will dismiss by no signed complaint. So I'll give the city an opportunity to come up with a signed complaint.
I'm sorry, is the city the injured party here?
Yeah, you're here.
Okay, well, sir, I move that we either dismiss this case or move this case to federal court. If the city is the plaintiff or injured party, they cannot also be the judge and prosecutor.
File a motion on that, sir. If you're saying that I do have a signed complaint for SP 1218072 counts 1 and counts 2. I do have a signed complaint for SX 3782961.
Okay, well, that brings me back to my original question. Is this a statutory proceeding? Because if there is, there would have to be an international contract or agreement. And I would implore the prosecution to put that agreement on the record and explain how I am party to it.
Listen, young man, you got to go do your homework, okay? And it appears that you're taking this position and you're adamant about this position, and you're free to do that. Now, whether you're going to win at this position, that's going to be up to what you say in your brief, and how it relates to the law, and we'll make a decision on that stuff. Okay, but at this point, you need to educate yourself, because you seem like a very articulate, educated young man. You need to educate yourself on court rules and procedure. And until you get the procedure proper, until you get it correct, then we can't talk, because we have to be speaking the same language. Okay?
I mean, that's the main thing I'm trying to understand here, sir. Is this a common law criminal procedure or an abnormality?
I'm giving you some direction on.
Well, sir, I don't know which rules. If you could tell me where I could find the rules for.
I told you, go to Michigan court rules. They got Michigan court rules.
They have rules for criminal procedure under statutory law.
Yes, very much so.
Could you please direct me to that?
I've already directed you to it. Michigan court rules. There's a book that's over 1,000 pages, and it'll answer, well, close to 1,000 pages. It has those questions outlined in there. You're expected to know
Are
that.
those Michigan court rules, is that statutory law?
I'm not going to keep going back and forth with you, sir. All I'm going to do, lastly, she has a valid driver's license. All I'm going to do, lastly, is give you the dates that we have. Whatever motions that you have, that's how you speak to the court, through motions. And whatever motions that you have, I will review it. I read all the motions that come across. I check all the law myself. And if you have some law, I would suggest that law that you're saying that we don't.
Your Honor, there is no international contract. I mean, we've asked the prosecutor to produce an international contract that would bind me to this statutory proceeding. And I'm not aware of any contract. In the absence of such contract, I motion that we dismiss this case. I believe what's happening here.
You've already made that motion, sir. I've already
Yes.
dismissed that motion.
Yeah. And for the record, I would just.
In order to, you can move to the circuit court, and you can appeal my decision as it relates to that. We're not gonna keep on going back
sir,
and forth, maintaining the
I
same.
think we should move this case to federal court. As I stated, if the city is the injured party,
File a motion so I can, on your removal motion. File a motion. I'm gonna give you a date. I'm gonna give you a date where that motion's gonna have to be due. I will entertain that. I'll give the people a date on their response if they choose to respond. And on another date, I will rule on that motion on the final pretrial date. So right now, I'm gonna set
sir,
dates for you.
I do not wish to continue or delay this any further. There's been no evidence presented to substantiate any kind of jurisdiction in this case. This is our second time. I've asked for this the first time, and there's been no evidence of any jurisdiction. And I don't understand why, you're insisting on, moving to another court date, and we have not addressed this very basic and fundamental issue of jurisdiction. If it cannot be proven and proven on the record, then this case must be dismissed. Well, I mean, I don't understand why we are delaying this any further.
We don't have to delay it any further. I can put a warrant out for your arrest and you don't have to show up. I mean, you'll have to deal with that then, but at some point, you're gonna have to deal.
Under what grounds, under what basis are you putting a warrant out for my arrest and you
I
haven't?
didn't say I was gonna put a warrant. I said, if you're telling the court that you're not gonna come back to any court dates, then that's up to you. All I can do.
What I'm saying, sir, is I don't wish to delay this any further. There has been no proof of jurisdiction. There is no live injured party. I mean, there's a claim that the city of Detroit is an injured party, but I'm not aware of any international agreements or contracts that I've entered into with the city of Detroit. And the prosecutor can't provide that. And it seems like there's a bias going on here because flat on its face, the prosecutor hasn't even spoken on this issue. And you just insist that we move to another court date. And I don't understand. I mean, your oath of office is to uphold the Constitution. And what I'm asking is
what you're saying in essence, right? What you're saying in essence is that I don't have any authority.
I'm asking you to prove your authority.
Huh?
I'm asking you to prove your authority. I'm trying to understand where your authority is coming from. And you're failing to do so.
Read the Michigan court rules, read your statutes, read the Constitution over again, and you'll find that.
As I said before, I'm not asking you for legal advice or where
and
to
the
go.
Michigan Constitution.
You have, if you have a legitimate jurisdiction, I'm asking you, is it a criminal jurisdiction under statutory law, or is it under the common law?
All right, we're gonna give them a trial.
And you will
date.
not answer that question.
Well, we'll give them a jury trial date.
Wow.
August the 9th, 2022.
Your Honor, we cannot proceed until I understand the nature and cause of the action against me.
I'm gonna say this one last time to you, sir. Go, and if you want to speak to the court, if you have any objection to the court and these dates, and if you don't feel that these dates are lawful, and if you, whatever your claim is that you're stating, you speak to the court through motions. I want that, and those motions that you're entertaining on the record right now, I've dismissed some of them already. I want you to file those motions with the court.
Under no basis
so that the court can read your motion and make a ruling and give the city attorney an opportunity to respond. If you do it the proper way, you might learn something. But I don't think that the way that you're going, that you're even if they show you documentation like it is in black and white, you're not going to believe that anyway. That's the perception that I'm getting from you. So I'm going to set these dates. It's going to be up to you whether you want to come to these court hearings or not. And if you don't come to the court hearings, the only recourse I have is to issue a warrant for failure to appear. Okay, so
sir, I still have this same question that you keep failing to answer, and without that question being understood,
and that's it. I'm done talking about it. Okay, that's it. So I'm gonna set a
Let the
motion
record
date.
show that the judge has
Listen,
refused
sir,
to
don't interrupt me
establish
again, okay?
jurisdiction.
Don't interrupt me again. Let's set a motion date for,
I do not consent.
please do not say anything else, sir. I know you said.
Sir, I'm exercising my Sixth
All right.
Amendment right. The Sixth
Let's
Amendment,
issue it.
exercise of an
Let's
amendment
do
right
this
will not be
contempt.
converted
I'm
into
hold
a
you
crime,
in,
sir.
I'm holding you in contempt of court, sir.
As I stated
Let's-
before,
contempt
I'm trying to
paperwork.
understand
Let's
the
do contempt paperwork
jurisdiction
now.
of the
I'm not
court
gonna deal with you. You're going to
as
jail.
pursuant to
Let's pull out the contempt
the Sixth
paperwork,
Amendment.
whatever paperwork we need to do and fill it out. We're gonna fill it out this time. I'm holding your client, well, Mr. Berry, you are, I guess, not representing this client because this client is probably, do you want the representation of a lawyer, sir, at this point now, sir? Because now you're looking at 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. Do you want the representation or not?
Please let the record show that I have attempted to understand the jurisdiction of this court, and this court has refused me that answer. And apparently it is a jurisdiction only understood to bar members and licensed attorneys. And this is a direct violation of the Constitution. And I do not consent. I do not agree. That's it.
I think I have the contempt book here.
Your Honor, I do not wish to be held in contempt.
It's too late.
I've merely asked a very basic, simple
No.
question, and you have refused to answer it. I feel as though the court is trying to constrain me to an unfair plea in absence of my understanding of the nature and cause of the action against me. So did you receive the documents that I sent you asking for your anti-bribery statement? Hello. Okay.
I'm gonna order you to report to the Wayne County Jail today.
I do not accept. I do not understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You have told me this is a criminal jurisdiction.
Sir, please don't. I told you don't say. I'm gonna ask some more days and keep on talking. All right. It says here, after the court determines whether criminal or civil contempt proceedings are appropriate, the court must determine whether the contempt was direct or indirect. If the contempt was committed during its sitting and in the immediate view and presence of the court, the contempt is direct, and the court may summarily make a finding of contempt and punish the contemptor. So I'm determining that this is criminal intent, the contempt. I am determining that it was done during the sitting of the court. We're on the record now. I've asked the young man, Mr. Jamil Lockhart, or as he has on here, Jamil of the family Lockhart, to continually not interrupt. I asked, the court is trying to set dates so that Mr. Lockhart's motions, if he wants to, or any of his pleadings could be preserved in writing, so that the court can review those writings, give the opportunity for the city attorney, if he chooses to respond, and then the court on the final pretrial date, which I never got a chance to give out, would make a ruling on those. I continually asked Mr. Lockhart to not interrupt the court. I asked Mr. Lockhart, and I've exercised the utmost restraint, in my opinion, with Mr. Lockhart, and telling him that we will have no further conversation about the matter. And the only way that we can speak with the court is through motions. I'm not saying that Mr. Lockhart cannot speak. I'm saying that Mr. Lockhart must speak through the court through motions, and he refused to exercise restraint in his own self, follow the court rules, and he refused to obey the order of the court, which was to please not say anything further regarding the matter. He continued.
I'm sorry, Your Honor. It happened very
It's
fast.
happening again right now on the record. It's happening again right now on the record. So those are the reasons.
I'm just
that I
apologizing.
find, again, another contempt. And it just continues to happen. And I'm gonna, now, if you have one more interruption with me, sir, I'm gonna add another 30 days to that. And you're looking at the 60 days, you're gonna get 30 days. Right now, you're gonna get 60 days if you have one more interruption to me. And it will be no early release, okay? And so those are the reasons. The court finds that the contempt was done in the sitting of the court. It was in the immediate view and presence of the court, and that therefore the contempt was direct. So the court rules and statute and law gives me the ability to summarily make a finding of contempt and punish the contempt. You definitely have a right to a lawyer. You have a right to appeal my decision, but that is the decision I'm going to make. And at this point, I'm going to order you to report to the Wayne County Jail, and I'm going to again try and set these dates one more time. I'm going to do this. All right. August the 9th, 2022 is set for a jury trial. We will set motion dates for we'll set a motion date for May 27th, 2022. Motions due by 5 p.m. You can send those motions to my email address, and you need to properly serve as the court rules are laid out. You need to properly serve the necessary parties. In this case, you need to serve the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office with that motion and the City of Detroit Law Department with that motion. I'm putting my email address in the chat. That's the email address is SEAN_PERKINS at 36districtcourt.org. Response to those motions for the people will be due June the 3rd, due by 5 p.m. They too can put their response, if they choose to respond, in my email address, and then we will set a final pretrial date And where I will rule on those motions on June the 10th. Those dates fine, Ms. Nash? Yes, I got the jury trial. And June the 10th, you need to appear back for a final pretrial date on June the 10th at 8:30 a.m. Let's clear up this. What do I need to do? All right. So statutory provisions illustrating the use of courts' contempt powers. Courts have inherent power to punish contempt of court. This power cannot be limited by statute, but the legislator may still provide for use of the contempt power in certain situations. The Michigan legislature has enacted numerous statutes providing for the use of the contempt power. The broadest of these statutes, Section 1701 of the revised Judiciary Act, contains provisions illustrative of the uses of the contempt power. The statute states the Supreme Court, circuit courts, and all other courts of record have power to punish by fine or imprisonment or both persons guilty of any neglect or violation of duty or misconduct in all of the following cases. And I'm just going to cite section A of this as why I'm holding you in contempt: disorderly, contemptuous, or insolent behavior committed during its sitting and in immediate view and presence and directly tending to interrupt its proceedings or impair respect due to its authority. Okay, so that's what we'll put down there. Disorderly and contemptuous behavior in its sitting in immediate view, presence of everyone, and in directly intending to interrupt its proceedings or impair the respect due to its authority. It's going to be ordered that you report today by 5 p.m. to the Wayne County Jail. And I'm ordering that you do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. You have a right to appeal this order, and I gave you the dates that the next court hearing will be had for motions due, responses due, the jury trial date, and the final pretrial date. Sir, do you have any further questions?
I just want to make sure I can speak without being held in contempt or.
Yes, you may speak. I asked you, do you have any further questions, sir?
Thank you. Your Honor, I would just like to tell you, man to man, that it was not my intent to be in contempt. It's never been my goal. I try to do everything in accordance with the law. As you can see, I have filed documents. I filed motions. I've requested information from the court, all in a desperate effort to wrap my head around the proceedings and what's going on here today. And I'm sorry if I may have gotten frustrated and not being able to understand the nature and cause and action against me. But just again, that was not my intention. I look forward to handling this as amicably as possible. I think that the record will show, I think that the prosecutor will agree that there is no international contract to which I'm tied under statutory jurisdiction. And I would love to see it. I would love to see that evidence. But also, you know, we covered the fact that the city is the injured party or the plaintiff. And this would be an improper venue anyway, but I appreciate your advice on handling that and moving forward with motions. I will be doing that. But again, this thing of contempt, it's just, you know, as one man to another, trying to understand and stand on my constitutional rights and exercising them. And I feel today, as what's happened is my pursuit in doing that has somehow been converted into crime against me, which is a tragedy, and in anyone's eyes, So I cannot consent to moving forward because I still do not understand the nature and cause against me. And I will be communicating in writing, and maybe, someone can give that to me in writing. And we can go from there.
All right. And the court has heard all of what I respect the fact that you're trying to use the system and you're trying to operate by your understanding of the system. And the court is not trying to impair you in any type of way to present any claims that you may have. I continually referred you to the Michigan court rules, the Michigan Constitution, the United States Constitution. You want to find jurisdiction, you want to challenge jurisdiction, and I told you, if you want to challenge that, you're free to do that. The court is never going to impair anybody to challenge any of the allegations that are held that are brought against them. But there is a procedure, and whether you want to, you got to play by the rules, sir. And whether you accept the rules or not, that's not going to change the rules and the stuff that has been codified and the stuff that has been litigated and argued for over 2 centuries. The rules are not going to change for your position. Now, I asked you to continue, not say anything. I tried, and I appreciate the fact that you want to I don't know what position you're really taking or where you're getting all this stuff from. And I asked you to put that stuff in motion. But when I asked you to please be quiet, please, I give you ample time to speak. I have not impaired your ability to put what's on the record, but you continually say the same thing over and over. And then when I ask you to please be quiet, and when I tell you that I'm going to hold you in contempt, if you're not quiet and you continually go over and over and disobey what the court is trying to say, then I have left with no other option to do what I've already done. So you have an absolute right to an attorney. I gave you Mr. Very, 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 very good attorney. Now, whether you want to listen to his advice or not, you have him there at your disposal. Other than that, sir, I don't know what to do for you.
Okay.
So I'm ordering
you
to report to the Wayne County Jail by 5 p.m. today.
It just happened so fast, sir. I mean, I think we.
Well, maybe you may learn something from this. Maybe you may learn something from this, and that 30 days will give you an opportunity to go read and educate yourself on how this works. I got other people that are taking the same position as you, and I've afforded them the same exact opportunity as you have, and they did not do what you did today. They're holding fast on their position, and that's fine. I respect that. But I don't respect you interrupting me, and it seems that you really need an education on how this stuff works, and I'm going to give you one today. Now, Mr. Berry, can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Yes, Your Honor. Elwood S. Berry, Jr., P28880, on behalf of this defendant.
Now, do you want to speak with Mr. Berry in a breakout room, sir, or not?
No, with all due respect, Your Honor, yeah, I have the right to represent myself in my own person. And that is what I intend to do after having understood the nature and cause of the action against me.
Okay. Well, I've given you, we've gone over all the natures and causes. We've gone over the maximum possible penalty for these offenses. I gave you an opportunity to speak with how and explain to you how the court hears your representations. You can choose to file those representations or not. But in the meantime, I'm going to order you now. I gave you the dates. I'm going to order you now to report to the Wayne County Jail by 5 p.m. today. Do those 30 days. All right.
I do not consent.
All right. Very well. If there's nothing further, sir, have a very good day.
You too.
Okay. Is this Mr. Lockhart? Jamil Lockhart? All right, Mr. Lockhart, have we had this discussion before?
Yeah, I'm here on behalf of the defendant, Jamil Lockhart, and you're making a special appearance.
All right, well, you got to make your special appearance to the Wayne County Jail. I told you that the last time.
Yeah, so I filed a notice of removal for all of these cases because I don't believe that this court is capable of acting in an unbiased way. But I mean, there's been no response from the city, but to this point, I mean, just the last court date we had, perjury was committed. I mean, you guys put on the record that I failed to appear, and I spoke to you.
You did fail to show up to the Wayne County Jail. You were ordered to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. You haven't showed up. You still haven't showed up. So you still disobeying. No, let's not do this. This is how it started the last time. You still disobeying the court's order, and you have to do 30 days. You have to present yourself to the Wayne County Jail. You have a warrant out for your arrest. And before we go over this other stuff, you got to go. You have to go to the Wayne County Jail. All right.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. So
I said what
I can increase the time if you can take to not be compliant.
Your Honor, I apologize for interrupting the proceedings. May I have a breakout room with this litigant, please, and thank you.
I don't know if he wants to speak to a lawyer, but he can if he needs to. He has that right to do so. You want to speak to the lawyer, Mr. Lockhart, or no?
Yeah, sure.
Join the room, please. Who's on that 8547 C guard? Miss Harris, what's gonna go with Mr. Lockhart? So I don't know why he's still sitting here.
Well, Your Honor, if the court will allow, we would like to attempt resolution of the matters that are on the docket. So I would ask if the court could stay the contempt proceedings and allow him to handle these matters.
No. It's been well over a year. No, he's gonna have to go turn himself in, and we'll deal with it that way.
Your Honor, if the court could, just in the interest of justice and judicial economy, if he could resolve these matters, if he's still going to have to do the 30 days in Wayne County Jail, if at time of sentencing, it could all be wrapped up together just to not further delay his constitutional right to speedy trial.
He's delayed his rights. He's delayed his rights to a speedy trial.
And I do have a resolution, Your Honor.
No, I don't want to, I'm not even going to entertain it. That ship has sailed. We tried to give him that opportunity a long time ago. He kept being contemptuous in the court. He comes with these far out legal theories that he has that I quite frankly, don't know where he's coming from on that. No, I'm not gonna even entertain that with
And Your Honor, I completely understand the court's position. I completely understand if he still has to do the 30 days Wayne County Jail, but I think that he was potentially misguided, did not understand the finer points of the law, court rules, and courtroom behavior and procedure. So now that he has the assistance of counsel, which I'm not saying that he didn't have the assistance of counsel before, if the court would allow him.
We offered him counsel then. He denied the counsel. Go back and look at the video. It's got over 270-some-thousand views on it. And I told him that 30 days will give him an opportunity to read up on the law and so he can make it and understand how this process goes. So go ahead to the Wayne County Jail. You can take some, they probably have some legal books there, and we'll hear these matters when you come out, sir.
Your Honor, is any of this on the record or no? Or do we not?
No, it's not on the record because I didn't call the cases. I'm going to continue on. That appears to be Charles Gardner.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Your Honor, am I allowed to go back in the breakout room to explain that to Mr. Lockhart? Because he seems to have had a change of heart if the court would allow him to at least.
Maybe he can go turn himself in and you can file an appeal, file something to get him heard before the court, and they can zoom in from the Wayne County Jail and we'll resolve it that way. But until he turns himself in, he's got a warrant out for his arrest. He's had this warrant out for I don't know how long. I can look back into the record, but and he's never presented himself. So he was contemptuous then. He continues to not follow or obey the court's orders. So he has to go do the time, or hire himself a lawyer to get it back in front of the court. But until we get the first matter resolved that we had, we're not going to get into the other matters.
The contempt proceedings arise out of his appearance in court. So he's still not allowed to just resolve these before he commits himself to the Wayne County Jail?
No.
Okay, Mr. Lockhart, join the breakout room.
All right. And that'll conclude it. I still see Mr. Lockhart here, I don't know what else to do, what else you can do for him, Mrs. Harris.
So, Your Honor,
He continues to disobey the court order, just continues to do so.
okay. And Your Honor, I dare not say, well, I don't know. I don't think that it's an intentional. Oh, I can't say that.
Wait a minute.
I don't think I'm gonna take that back. I'm gonna take that back. I think he has good intentions. I think he now has a better understanding of everything that is taking place.
I don't think so, because he came in here talking about he's appearing on behalf of the person Jameer Lockhart. So I think he's on the same path as he was that got him into this situation.
And Your Honor, we've had that discussion at length in the breakout room. He understands what it would take to resolve his matters. He understands how he has to represent himself in court. And so I think he's in a position that he wants to resolve these matters. We've had the discussion. We asked for leniency and mercy from the court. I understand if the condition is that he still has to do 30 days in the Wayne County Jail, although we would ask if the court would reconsider that sentence now that he has taken the time to actually listen to advice of counsel and be made fully aware of how he should present himself in court. I know that it's his intention to resolve these matters without any further court appearances or draining any further resources or delaying the process anymore. And I know that the court doesn't want to delay the process any further. I understand his behavior is what put us in this position as of right now, but we're just hoping to resolve today if the court will allow.
I'm not moving. I gave him ample, it's a 27 plus, maybe 30 plus minute video. I gave him ample opportunity. You know, and I'm not moving.
I mean, Your Honor, I mean, in that video, I did apologize to you for, I guess.
You apologize after you got the 30 days. I'm
Yeah, I
not moving.
apologize after the offense was, I mean, I don't know what else I would apologize.
It's not, you and you still haven't showed up, and it's been over a year, and now you want me to have some sympathy for you and to resolve the matters. I have no sympathy for you at all.
Mm-hmm.
I tried to discuss, we tried to give you a fair opportunity to be heard. You keep spewing these legal theories that I've never heard of before. And I've given you an opportunity at that date to speak with the lawyer. You refused that. You refused all the opportunities I've given you. And you came in here another time a couple of months ago, and I told you we weren't going to hear it then. You got to go report to the Wayne County Jail.
Mm-hmm.
So
I mean,
you've had ample opportunity.
You'd have me go to jail.
So on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, I do understand that, and I know the court he may hear this often, but he does have a family that he supports. It would be a great hardship on his family, his resources, and his sense of economy in terms of his job if he would have to submit himself to 30 days in the Wayne County Jail. I understand that the court is not inclined to change that.
I didn't just give him the 30 days on the, he should have thought about that when I was asking him. I let him speak when I was asking him to not try to overtalk the court. Let me give him an opportunity to speak. He continued to disobey that. He should have thought about that then. There's a whole lot of people up in the penitentiary that have families that they take care of, and he's not going to the penitentiary. It's just county jail. So I'm just not moved.
Would this court consider amending it in such a way that he could only do weekends to complete his 30 days?
Yeah, but he hasn't even come to done anything. I'm not inclined to do anything for Mr. Jameer Lockhart or the person of Jameer Lockhart or whatever he wants to be called or however he wants to be described himself. Jamil Lockhart.
So yeah, he has the matters that are set on the docket for today. He has presented himself to the court today.
Okay, you want to take we'll take off the warrant, we'll give him a pre-trial date, and then he can go do his 30 days. And he can tell the sheriff in there that what his next court date is, and they can, or somebody can writ him out then. City of Detroit versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case numbers SP 1247989, counts 1, 2, and 3. State of Michigan. Now the laws just don't apply to him. State of Michigan versus Jamil Amir Lockhart, case number SX 378296111. appearance for the record, please.
Sharika Harris, on behalf of Jamil Lockhart, sir, could you state the name of the person that you are representing on the record, please, or that you identify, please?
So my name is Jamil Lockhart.
For purposes of arraignment, Your Honor, my client would stand mute, but we would ask if the court could read the charges, please and thank you, so that Mr. Lockhart is aware of what he is charged with and the nature of the charges.
It's also called SP 1218072, counts 1 and counts 2 into the record as well. The SP 1218071, that's a license improper. License improper, that's a maximum possible penalties, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. Count 2 of that is a no insurance misdemeanor, maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. SP 1247989, counts 1, unregistered, untitled, maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. SP count 2 of that is an improper license, a maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. Count 3 of that is a no insurance, maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fine. And SX 378296111, that's an improper license, maximum possible penalty, 93 days in jail and or $500 in fines. He's got an expired plate that's in default that I'm not going to set aside. He owes $174 on that. As for purposes of arraignment, counsel.
Again, Your Honor, Jamil Lockhart would stand mute. Ask that the court would enter a not guilty plea at this time on his behalf. Mr. Lockhart, I hope you're recalling these are all things that we discussed in the breakout room. I told you how the process works.
All right, I'll enter a not guilty plea on his behalf. I'll give him a $0 bond. We'll set a pretrial in the matter for 9/22/2023 at 8:30 a.m. All right.
Your Honor, there is currently a recommendation if the court would allow a plea.
No. He's gonna have to go do the time.
So, sir, as we discussed, I think you would be better suited if you, 1, hire an attorney, 2, go to the Wayne County Jail and submit yourself so that your matters could be resolved. I understand that when you appear in court, there's different attorneys.
He didn't want an attorney. And I guess you have gotten through to him a little bit. He changed it. He came in here hearing on behalf of the person, Jamil Lockhart. And then when he asked him to state his name, he came and he indicated that he was Jamil Lockhart now. So I don't know what he like I say.
I mean, if I could speak a little bit here. I don't know, Your Honor, I'm not a criminal. I just want to handle this, get this over with.
I didn't say you were a criminal, sir. I didn't listen.
No, I know you didn't.
I didn't say you were a criminal. As it stands now, these are allegations. So until there's an adjudication of either guilt or not guilt, that'll determine, whether you're a criminal or not. So I don't know. You got these allegations out here. So I didn't make that comment. You were a criminal.
Right. No, I'm not saying that you did. But I just want to handle this and, put this to rest. At this point, I feel like it's taken up too much of my time, too much of, your time, I'm sure. And,
no, this is what I do every day, sir. I serve the city, the residents of the city of Detroit and the state of Michigan and whoever comes in here. So It doesn't take up my time. This is what we do.
Yeah. So yeah, and continuing, I would just like to, get this over with, pay whatever fines need to be paid. I would like to have my license back. I can't rent a car when I travel. I would like to be able to do that. So whatever I owe for these civil
Should have thought
offenses.
about that last year, over a year and a half ago.
Mhm. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, I just want to resolve this. Whatever I owe for those offenses, I'm willing to pay, and it'll be done with this situation. I truthfully don't think it's your, mission to put people in jail that have not harmed anybody or committed any offense against, any actual live human being. I'm only guilty of speaking out of turn. And, I should have handled this differently. I can see that now, but yeah, I really just want to get this whole situation rectified, and whatever the charges are that I need to pay, I'm willing to do that, and I'll put this to rest.
All right, I'll let them speak. Next pretrial date is September 22nd.
Yeah,
Well,
based on the statements.
That being said, I don't think, based on everything that has happened, our history, the claim in federal court that I have against you, Michigan judicial tenure complaints that I have against you, I think you have a duty to recuse yourself from any of my cases.
I haven't been privy to any judicial tenure complaint. My first duty is the duty to sit, and I feel that I
put it in your mailbox.
Okay, well, all right. Well, the Judicial Tenure Commission will have to come, and I'll have to respond to them accordingly if they present something to me.
Okay.
All right. Have a great day, sir. Next court date, 9/22. You're still expected to turn yourself into the Wayne County Jail.
Well, Your Honor, I would ask one final argument. I understand that he may have indicated he did not want an attorney to represent him. Jail time is a very harsh penalty. And I know that the court didn't just immediately come to that decision. I would ask if the court would consider some of the things that were stated on the record in terms of he now has a better understanding. He is remorseful of how things played out. And I would ask if the court would issue a monetary fine for the contempt rather than jail. If the court would, please.
And he's got a proceeding in federal court against me. So where is it, where is this
I'm simply trying to protect.
Your Honor, but again, Your Honor, Mr. Lockhart, on behalf of Mr. Lockhart, stop. What I'm saying, the court has to understand the fact that a lot of these things came into play before today. So if in fact there was something filed, it was before today, before having a better understanding of how the process works, how to conduct oneself in court, and that one is held to the same standards as an attorney. I would ask if the court would consider converting that jail term into a monetary fine.
Not at this point. At this point.
Your Honor, I only have a federal claim against you as a means to try to keep myself out of jail, right? It's not something that I want to do,
You can take any action. You can take any action under the law that you choose to, sir. I haven't prevented you or even tried to even attempt to prevent you, and I can't prevent you from
All I'm
doing
saying
it.
is I don't want to do that. I just want to handle this, pay whatever I need to pay, and move on.
So
You know,
again,
I'm
advocating
not a
on
criminal
behalf
that
of,
needs to be sitting in jail. I'm an upstanding individual. I have a lot of people that depend on me, and I haven't harmed anyone, and I never would.
understood. Thank you for that
wanna have a
allocution. But
claim.
on behalf of, defense would now move to ask if the court would allow a hearing on the contempt proceedings.
That hearing has sailed. He has been gone. He has what, 30 days for the hearing. Procedurally, that has sailed a long time ago.
So he already had a hearing on it?
No, we asked him, offered a hearing on that. We offered him an attorney on that before we entered into found him in contempt. We offered him to speak with the lawyer on that day. He chose not to. It's been over, I would say, quite frankly, a year at least. The motion he was going to file a motion by 5/27/2022. It's been a long time. Those ships have sailed.
But Your Honor, arguably he didn't have the assistance of counsel. So I would ask, did we go through all of the steps for him to waive his right to counsel in that type of proceeding?
Well, you can go back and look at the transcript. If he wants some representation now, he can either have a court appointed a lawyer, or he can hire a lawyer on his own. But at this juncture, I'm not inclined, I get people tell me I'm too lenient and I'm a defense judge, and I try to be fair to everybody that comes through here. I gave Mr. Lockhart, and I'm giving Mr. Lockhart now, over a half hour when other people only get 5 minutes to speak. I gave him ample time today and back when he came in court the last time. And you say that he's changed, but he came into court today spewing the same stuff that he started out before he talked to you, that he did when he was there. I read those motions that he filed, which was in the court's eyes, had no basis in law whatsoever. None. I've never seen those legal theories that he's purporting. I don't know if you, well, let me strike that. I've seen those legal theories that he's purported, but I've never seen those in the rules of court rules. I've never seen that in any of the law books that I've ever read. So I told him this back then, that he needs to go get the rules. I gave him an opportunity to read the rules of procedure. He refused everything. Now, the transcript of it, you can order the transcript. He can hire his own lawyer, and he'll get whatever kind of hearing that he will get. I'm not going to recuse myself from the case.
Understood, Your Honor.
Okay.
I have nothing further.
Very well. Next court date, September 22nd, 2023, will be a pretrial. Have a very good day, sir. And again, you're ordered to turn yourself into the Wayne County Jail.
Okay.
Have a great day.